The crash was deafening, a sharp crack of metal on unyielding steel that rattled windows up and down our quiet cul-de-sac in suburban Dallas, Texas. I bolted out the front door just in time to see Susan Hargrove, our neighborhood's self-proclaimed HOA enforcer, clambering out of her gleaming Escalade, her face a mask of shock and fury. Her SUV's front end was a mangled mess, radiator hissing steam like an angry dragon, while my fence stood tall and unscathed. Neighbors poked their heads out, murmuring in disbelief, a few stifling laughs. For months, Susan had treated my yard like her private express lane, smashing through my fence without a second thought. But this time, she'd met her match. If you're wondering how a mild-mannered guy like me turned a backyard barrier into her undoing, buckle up, this tale of sweet justice is one for the books. When I first settled into Oak Ridge Estates, it felt like hitting the jackpot. Picture perfect lawns, kids playing catch in driveways, and barbecues that stretched into starry evenings. My place wasn't the fanciest, cozy, ranch-style home with a big backyard for my golden retriever, Buddy, to chase squirrels. But the fence? That was my pride and joy. I'd spent weekends digging posts, nailing cedar planks, and staining them a deep walnut brown. It wasn't flashy, just solid and straight, marking my little slice of the Lone Star State as mine. Mornings, I'd sip coffee on the patio, watching the sun rise over the flat Texas horizon, feeling like everything was right in the world. That calm was shattered when Susan Hargrove entered the picture. Late 50s, always in yoga pants and oversized shades, driving that beast of an Escalade like she owned the roads and apparently my property too. As HOA vice president, she ruled with an iron fist, nitpicking mailbox heights and lawnmower decibels. At first, her jabs were minor. Alex, that fence shade's a tad off. HOA specs call for mahogany, not walnut. I brush it off, figuring she was just flexing. But then came a morning Buddy's barking yanked me awake. Out back, a chunk of fence lay splintered, tire ruts carving up my grass like a vandal signature. No storm, no accident, just Susan's Escalade pulling out, veering through my yard as a shortcut to the main road. She even honked a cheery wave, like it was no big deal. You'd expect an apology, maybe an offer to fix it. Nope. Susan doubled down at the next HOA meeting, lecturing about unsightly property damage lowering values while staring daggers at me. I submitted evidence photos, timestamps, but the board, her cronies, dismissed it as a boundary misunderstanding. Worse, they slapped me with a $150 fine for fence neglect. My blood boiled. This wasn't a mix-up. It was war. Susan kept at it, plowing through twice weekly, laughing on her phone as wood flew. I confronted her once. Susan, stop driving through my yard. She smirked. Oh, Alex, it's hardly a fence, more like a suggestion. If you built better, it wouldn't break so easily. Her condescension stung, turning my weekends into repair drudgery while fines piled up. The injustice ate at me. Neighbors whispered sympathy, but stayed silent, fearing Susan's wrath find one for a crooked flagpole. Even the city hall called it civil, washing their hands. But the breaking point? A family cookout with my brother, his wife, and our aging mom. Burgers sizzling, laughter flowing until Susan's engine roared. She barreled through, shards flying inches from Mom's chair. Mom dropped her plate, pale as a ghost, heart racing. Susan sped off, cackling. That night, fury turned to resolve. No outburst side outsmart her legally. Digging into HOA rules and Texas property codes, I struck gold. Reinforce fences freely as long as the exterior matched standards. Perfect. I sketched plans. Industrial steel beams sunk deep in concrete, cloaked in cedar to blend. Added prickly holly bushes for landscaping appeal and extra bite. Supplies arrived discreetly. I worked nights, Buddy on lookout, flashlight in teeth. Holes 4 feet deep, post level like sentries. Cameras hidden in shrubs captured everything. From the street, It looked identical innocent brown planks. Inside, a fortress. Anticipation built like a Texas thunderstorm. Susan cruised by daily, smirking clueless. Then, one scorching Saturday it hit. From my porch, iced tea in hand, I saw her garage open. Escalade gleaming, she revved, aimed straight at my weak spot, and floored it. The impact? A thunderous clang, her SUV crumpling like tin foil. Airbags deployed with a whoosh. Holly thorns raked the paint. Susan shrieked, tumoring out scratched and disheveled. Neighbors swarmed, phones out, recording the spectacle. "What did you do?" she wailed. I strolled over. "Me? I just built a better fence. Looks like your shortcut's shut." Laughter erupted real, belly-deep guffaws. Susan kicked the fence. It didn't budge, her heel clanging on steel. "This is assault," she spat. I shrugged. "Legal as apple pie. Got the docs right here." HOA President Harold Jenkins arrived, sweating in his polo. Susan ranted. "He booby-trapped it. Fine him." Harold reviewed my papers, sighed. "Alex is compliant, Susan. You trespassed again." Her face twisted. The crowd jeered. For once, her power crumbled under public scrutiny. The fallout snowballed. Videos went viral. Local news dubbed it HOA Tyrant's Epic Fail. Insurance denied her claim. Intentional negligence. Neighbors testified about her hazards. Premiums soared. At the HOA meeting, Susan demanded my head. I countered with footage. "Here's her ramming my yard." Repeatedly. Murmurs turned to chuckles. Harold stripped her title. "Your conduct's unbecoming." She stormed out, humiliated. But Susan's rage peaked. Weeks later, she charged my yard, yanking my mailbox post and all from the ground. "This is your fault." Neighbors gasped, filming. Someone called the cops. Sirens wailed. Officers arrived. "Ma'am, that's federal property tampering." Susan sputtered. "He provoked me." Cuffs clicked. She shrieked about conspiracies as they hauled her away. Cheers rang out sweet vindication. Charges stuck. Fines, community service, a tarnished record. HOA banned her forever. Neighbors shunned her. Her Escalade repairs drained her wallet. The "for sale" sign appeared soon after. As she loaded boxes, muttering, I savored it. I refinished the fence, adding a plaque. "Susan's final shortcut." Harold shook my hand. "You freed us all." The neighborhood bloomed freer, friendlier, no more petty tyrants. In the end, Susan's arrogance sealed her fate. She thought rules bent for her, but patience and the law proved otherwise. Oak Ridge Estates breathed easier, a testament that standing firm topples bullies. What do you think? Did I go too far, or was this justice served? Share your take in the comments. Was Susan the real villain, or should I have handled it differently? Let's hear your views.